Welcome, true crime enthusiasts. Get ready for the chilling tale of Michelle Leng, a case that has shaken the nation. As we delve into this enigmatic and haunting story, prepare to question reality itself. Subscribe and hit that notification bell, because we're about to embark on a spine-chilling expedition into the unknown. In this compelling story, we look more deeply into the terrifying incidents that led up to Michelle Leng's terrible death in 2016. The kind and ambitious Michelle, also known as Mei Leng, was a young woman from Chengdu, Sichuan Province, China. She was close to her parents, but when her father died in a catastrophic earthquake in 2008, her life was turned upside down. Michelle set her eyes on going to Australia to study because she was determined to build a bright future, and with the steadfast support of her mother, she succeeded in realizing her ambition. When Michelle moved to Sydney in 2011, she enrolled at the University of Technology, devoting herself to her studies and starting over in Australia. She was given a place to stay by her aunt and her uncle Derek Barrett, who lived in the countryside. They also had Michelle's cousin, who was 2 years younger than her. As Michelle achieved academic success, made friends, and even found a part-time job, everything appeared to be looking up. But shortly, the course of destiny would become terrible. As the years went by, Michelle's aunt began to spend more time away from home for work, leaving Michelle, her daughter, and her husband Derek alone in the suburban Campsie apartment. It was during this period that Michelle's aunt and Derek started noticing a change in Michelle's behavior. She began spending more time with her girlfriends and frequently visited nightclubs. However, her loved ones didn't consider it cause for alarm at the time. On that fateful day in April 2016, security cameras captured Michelle shopping in Sydney's central business district. She had an unbothered, unaffected appearance. Later video showed her boarding a train at St. James Railway Station and traveling to Campsie Railway Station, which is also the location of her final known whereabouts. Using her cell phone to stay in touch with her friends and family throughout the day, Michelle showed no indications of anxiety. The true horror of Michelle's fate began to unravel on April 24th, when her aunt returned from her business trip. Inquiring about Michelle's whereabouts, she discovered that no one had seen her for 2 days. Derek, who was temporarily unemployed at the time, claimed he hadn't encountered Michelle either, citing her recent outings with friends as the reason for her absence. Concerned, Michelle's aunt and Derek reported her missing to the police and notified the Chinese embassy. Heartbreakingly, Michelle's body had already been found before the official missing persons report was filed. Witnesses had reported a body floating in the water near Snapper Point, and subsequent investigations confirmed it was Michelle. The news devastated her family, and the police began their quest for answers. As we go forward with this case, kindly subscribe, like, and click the notification bell. After interviewing the family members as the initial step, Detective Chief Inspector Gary Jubilin and his team grew suspicious of Derek Barrett due to his statements and actions. The inconsistencies in his statements raised doubts, and the accumulating evidence began to point towards him as a suspect. Cell phone records indicated his presence in the vicinity where Michelle's body was discovered, contradicting his earlier claims of not visiting the area. Furthermore, surveillance footage captured his car near Snapper Point, further establishing a connection to the crime scene. As investigators delved deeper into Derek's life, they stumbled upon a horrifying revelation. The analysis of his seized cell phone exposed a dark and twisted obsession. Derek had secretly recorded his stepdaughter and Michelle in intimate moments, violating their privacy and betraying their trust. The evidence against Derek Barrett was overwhelming, and he was subsequently arrested and charged with a litany of offenses. During his trial, he initially refused to answer questions and demanded legal representation. The courtroom was left in shock as the details of his heinous acts came to light. The footage on his phone revealed Michelle bound and helpless, captured just hours before her death. The autopsy report painted a grim picture of the violence inflicted on Michelle. She had over 30 stab wounds and defensive wounds on her arms, indicating a desperate struggle for survival. It was clear that Michelle had fought valiantly against her attacker, but her strength was no match for Derek's brutality. In December 2017, Derek Barrett pleaded guilty to the charges against him. The judge sentenced him to 46 years in prison, acknowledging the gravity of his crimes. Michelle's family, however, expressed their disappointment, believing that a life sentence would have been more fitting for the man who had caused immeasurable pain and irreparable loss. Unfortunately, the suffering for Michelle's family didn't end with the initial conviction. 4 years later, a USB drive containing additional videos of Derek's acts was discovered in the possession of an elderly woman with dementia. The videos further exposed the depths of his perversion, and Derek was charged with additional offenses. His sentence was extended by 20 years, but both sentences will be served concurrently, allowing him the possibility of parole in 2052. The enduring impact of Michelle's tragic death is immeasurable. Her family's lives were forever altered, haunted by the cruel and senseless acts committed by one man. As they continue to grapple with their grief, they are left to navigate a world forever scared by the loss of their beloved daughter and niece. This story serves as a chilling reminder of the monsters that can lurk among us, capable of unspeakable acts. It highlights the importance of remaining vigilant, supporting one another, and striving for justice to prevent such tragedies from recurring. As we reach the end of this chilling tale, we are left with haunting questions. What drove Derek Barrett to commit such heinous acts? How well do we truly know those around us? And how can we protect ourselves from such darkness? Thank you for joining us on this chilling journey into Michelle Leng's case. Join us in our relentless pursuit of the truth. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell to stay updated on our latest investigations. Share your theories, insights, and thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for joining us.